Whatever.
It's recording now.
Yes, it is. Oh. Is yours?
What? Yeah, those are my wet socks from the walk.
Ooh. Thank you for keeping my seat wet. No.
Electronics and water making it really uncomfortable. Okay. Need some air.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So what up? It's like a fourth day. I mean, like, excluding the arrival date, it's like third day.
Really? It's just the third day?
Yeah,
Wow,
because
that's
we arrived
why.
on Monday.
Yeah, it's super short. Like,
Yeah, that's why it's
for
like...
Puff, it's just super short. Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized that, of course. It's just the third day. No, yeah, of course. Like, no, it's super short. Demands a lot of energy.
Right.
My idea was to come here to rest, actually. And I've worked out a lot, yeah. And I cannot sleep also, so that's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
This is my third night that I sleep. No, wait. First night I sleep, I guess, 4 hours. Second night, 7 hours. That was good. And today, 4 hours also. But I compensate like with 1 hour meditation from time to time. At some point when I cannot sleep, I just like woke up and then I just stay. Because basically I'm meditating while I cannot sleep, so I'm trying just to focus on my breathing, so I end up meditating.
I see.
So then at some point I'm just like, okay, no, just sit, and then then in that way I recharge some energy. But I need to do these things through the day.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm like,
Yeah.
and also it doesn't work that much with, I mean, it's a thin line between coffee and verbena or Camila, because too much coffee also, I mean, I could be awake, then I need to be awake, but my nervous system has to stay in balance, because I could be awake but also like not feeling good at all.
I see.
Like deprivation of sleep, too much coffee is not good, I think.
No.
Especially in social environment, I become very socially distressed. And as you experience, Puff can be very, just like in a rest, when you are in not affected by, let's say, lack of sleep, already sometimes demands a lot of social thing.
I see. Yeah.
But here we are. This is the number 3.
You uploaded. Did you upload the last one already? Okay. Is it 2?
This is, and this is 3.
Okay. Good. It's like the, after Christ.
After what? Yeah, after Christ.
Now my era is over. You're born. And we count from the beginning. Anyways. So we're gonna cook.
Yes.
Let's see how it's gonna go. Well, we talk about it later between us. Well, we just have to write down.
Yeah, but also like that is here for sharing is that something's gonna happen.
Yeah, true.
Something's gonna happen. True. So, and some people already ask me. Like there's some people who are curious. I don't know if some people have asked you.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people have asked me. So, yeah. Curious, what happened? Something's gonna happen.
Something.
And a part of this, you have this practical thing is you have to feed 22 people. I mean, that's the focus is to make food for 22 people. But then we think that what that framework afford. So what can happen within the concentrate without what happened while cooking for 22 people. What can happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I really wanted to ask you, like, so how was the performance? You watched the performance I did.
I think it was entertaining, as I said to you.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's good or bad. It's just it has this. I will put it in this category. It was amusing, almost like a stand-up comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
I was telling you. Like I guess it is in a personal level. I guess it says so many things to me that I guess maybe some other people might not connect that much, because
Right.
it would be my experience. So I don't know if it's so relevant for me to speak about those things. I mean, a part of like in different layers, I will summarize that it's just, for me it means so much that you have been there and that you experience this things that you were sharing, because I come from that place.
Right.
So then I don't have to, like the idiosyncrasies, like culture is there. La locura está ahí. Toda la locura está ahí. So yeah, but so then this yeah. So maybe something that was relevant is like this thing of. Would you maybe describe for them like what I mean? What was your? I think you said yesterday about. How would you describe what you did?
Yeah, I'll try to like.
Also take your time, like you describe.
No,
like,
but it's so basically I was doing the exchange for 4 months from August to November, and at the end of November I did the performance, which was like. So what you saw, like part of it, what came from that performance. So it's not like I started from scratch. Just to give a.
Yeah, because before you did this performance in La Nacho, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
just out of this.
Yeah, that I didn't saw that one.
No, I mean that's that one. So there's a lot of like similarity and difference in the way that the creation wise, like that one I really like did rehearse a lot.
Like the one that you presented, the last one.
The
Nacho.
Because last one I didn't have time. Like the place was confirmed like a week before the festival or something. It was really crazy. Because I wrote to like many places and like nobody answered, or they were like not really responsive, and it was really tough. But that place, actually, I got to know the place, the Teatro de Garaje, through the live coding people, because they did a performance there.
Okay.
Which was not really ideal for projection and stuff, actually. But anyways, they did something there, and then I was like, okay, that's also like close to where I was like staying in Chapinero. So, okay, give it a try, and they were like super nice people. And yeah, it happened, and but the thing was like, so I had like 1 week to prepare, basically, or 10 days, and I had like 3 days of rehearsing, like 3 hours each, and basically I made that performance in that time frame. And at the Nacho we had like weekly laboratorio where we show work in progress, so I had more time to do it. And then like 1 week, like through like 1 week before the performance or the showing, I was like almost every day I was doing like a run through, and every time it's like kind of like structured improvisation, so I don't write it. And it's different. I mean, that time I was really like trying with the like different formats, and then in the end I decided something very specific, which I have it on my channel. I actually did a talk through, because the one thing was that performance, the video recording was okay. I had like 4K camcorder, like really good, but I didn't record the sound. I mean, from the camera, and you can't really hear
really
it.
Far away, yeah.
That's why, like in the one at the Teatro de Garaje, in the last one, I did with like Zoom recorder, and it was like okay. It's not like the best, but you could distinguish, the noise and the talking. Much better.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the background, and then like.
And then what happened then? Then literally, how would you describe then your performance?
Yeah. So I wanted to do it long because I invite people to see this, so I didn't want to do like 15 minutes. That's like
And how long was the La Nacho?
30 minutes.
Okay.
I mean a bit less But the thing was at Nacho is that the idea was like I start from reverse, like I do this like Japanese dance. That's the kind of climax. But I started question, like why do I need to do the climax at the end? So I started I start from that, and then I go to warm up, and then like describe like walking back to home. That's also in the part of the performance I did, like walking from the school, walking to the school basically in the city.
Okay.
To the campus, and then the Nacho, like I'm walking around in Nacho. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. Okay.
And then
now that you're saying like okay,
yeah.
that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
But this is the kind of things that I was saying, like it's just in your head, like you're not like I know now too, like I don't see that. Like what are you doing? Like it seems like you're a really not talented mime.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like also like so. Anyways, like I don't know, we just jumped around, but yeah, I mean, I just said like okay, I just be myself.
Yeah, you said that thing was good. Yeah.
Yeah, because if I just be myself, talk about my life, and it's also like not like it doesn't have to be like everything is conveyed.
Yeah.
Like clearly.
Yeah.
Then you just have to read something about me, and I mean that's also part of the work because I did this time finally I brought my cards. Because like also like I didn't say it, but these cards like that I made, which was actually the website, like that really helped me like constructing the performance because
that's your life.
Basically like that's the memories and then
in your life
like.
And why are these cards not in the box?
Oh, because I wanted to put soap in the box.
Ah.
Because I ordered like three of those like sets, and like I was like, okay, I just one of them I wanted to keep it for the soap because I really like the solid ones, like shampoo bar thingy, like not the liquid. Then it's easy to travel because it doesn't weigh much, and that box is like perfect. So now it's just And anyways, I think that box doesn't really work well because it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And at the design museum, like I saw like a lot of like products like that, and I was like, okay, now I think I have to think about like making those carton box for this.
Yeah, I see.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So like this was like not like directly like I was playing with the cards and like constructing the performance. It's not like that. Someone asked me about it, but it's not like that. But it's more like like making the process of this is like the practice, like embodied. So I have like memories, but in a physical way, and then when I think about the story, I just like okay, I did this, I did that, like coming from like this, the memory of the memories.
Yeah. What I was thinking that, I mean, it just opens this question. Like when I was watching it, then of course then I cannot avoid to criticize you from my knowledge in theater and dance. Then there was something also that had happened with a friend of mine. So, for instance, where there are places like that where you can go and study choreography directly, so you don't have to study dance.
Right.
And so there's a friend of mine that I did a project with him. It's called André Chapate. He's a Swiss American guy, a choreographer, and he's coming through from a drawing practice.
Okay.
He's
like fine art.
No, actually, cartoons. It's a very specific illustration and cartoon specifically. But the humor is something really important on his work. And then he goes and study choreography at this place that sometimes I told you in Brussels. That was that Daniel was the director of this place. L'ISAC, Institut Supérieur des Arts Chorégraphes, I think ISAC, Institut Supérieur des Arts Chorégraphies, something like this. And when he dances just really awkward. And it has then some texture that is unique. That I remember because then I was working in some project specifically with him, and he was also asking some advice or like what do you think of this, and then he was really training himself back then like taking ballet classes, and he started studying dance I guess maybe when he was close to 30s I guess, or 25 or something like this. I would say more close to 30s. So I think he was trying to, a part of the classes of choreography, that they also follow some dance classes. He was going really serious, trying to take some trainee as a professional dancer.
Okay.
And of course he was struggling and with time, I guess, in general.
Time management.
Time,
Yeah,
time in general, time.
I mean, because time can be, time in the sense of like choreographing something and work with time.
But time, in any sense, because it's like, I mean, I don't want to enter in that abstraction. It's just in time, as he's old, in any kind of time reference, I think.
Okay.
It will work. I think what I'm trying to say, that it's just time was not working, I guess, in this idea of he becoming really good technically and becoming a dancer. Then at some point we were talking of this, like, I mean, I was encouraging him that first, like, I mean, that he needs to negotiate with himself, like, this desire of becoming super good technically as a dancer. Also, I mean, that doesn't mean that he needs to stop pursuing certain dance techniques, but just to negotiate this desire, and then for what it matters, let's say for the public, so for what the audience sees, so objectively speaking, he has a rich movement. Like, objectively, I could see, like, I could not do what he does, like, because I have some training.
Right.
So the way how he moves is, it responds more to, I'm talking about, say, 2019, maybe 18, like, I would certainly say that from his movement was certainly responding to what the state of the art of contemporary dance was then. As a performer, he was he had a body, a performing body. I will say that myself, like being somebody with training, I will say that I will doubt myself more. My knowledge limited my agency and movement towards that idea of dance and choreography as an expanded practice. And so I'm saying this in regards to your performance, all this technical discourse and technique and dramaturgy and so on, and that I was thinking that again. I mean, once I start watching it, and then I catch myself that it's automatically that you go, if you are training a certain way, you cannot stop critique. Like your brain goes like, boom, this is not good.
Right.
And then I catch myself after some like automatization, and then I was like, oh wait, but this is interesting. Like, does it matter actually? Because for what is relevant, I'm speaking personally, and also I'm seeing like a lot of the people when I'm speaking with people who have more in path, like people who have like, I will say that I respect their work very much. Is they are in the spectrum of ecologies of labor, so capitalism and ecologies of labor. So questioning production basically. Then I was like going there, like, I mean, if that's a place that I'm interested. The fact that you're doing this in a certain way, and then it makes me think that it doesn't matter that it's not good in certain canons.
Right.
Yeah.
That's also interesting because actually, like that what you said about your friend who was trying to take dance, have dance practice, because it's also like, in a way, it's very like ephemeral, or like very like, what's the right word? I mean, it changes, right? It's hard for, I don't know if he can actually keep that, to always have this quality, because if he's doing a lot, then probably like becomes different, and that happened to me as well. Like in the first performance I did at the Nacho, like not the one I described, but we had this kind of like midterm showing in the middle of the semester. It was totally different. I was doing more like wordplay and it was more like nonsense. I actually like kind of like it came from the best practices in a way that I just like play with what I have. So it has like less structure.
And my legs were there. My legs were there.
Just throwing clothes. But actually I was throwing clothes, and like I had like two parts actually at first. Like one was that I have like full of things. It's like really like a laboratory.
Yeah.
That was like really best practice, like the workshop we did.
Yeah.
It came from that spirit.
Yeah.
But then I also tried like second half, which is like, I mean, I also like relate to this like my neurodiversity and all like so on. But I just wanted to do something without like with my body, and like nothing else, and I just talk or like make sound and then just like do crazy stuff, and somehow like that became like more like like main thing like material I wanted to work with. But of course that was like it was super interesting like to me like how it came out, and people really liked it. But also like I couldn't keep that quality like playing with the words, for example, because then I started studying like practicing Spanish more. So I can't just go back to like just playing with the words like just as like a child, because now I have more knowledge, and then like so that kind of like I relate to that. And for the last performance I did, like I can't do this again because it's just it was that, and then it's gone.
Like that was one like that when I saw Daniela like 2 weeks ago in Brussels. That's what she was underlying. Like Dani was saying that one of the feedback that she gave us. I mean, she was saying she was saying like, I remember telling you that it was not good, and that's what she remembers. Like because I guess there was something. She said, I remember saying to you that it was not good, and and at the same time thinking like, I hope he's not fixing it.
I see.
Because that was the quality that she liked, the ephemerality, like the lack of object that the thing has, that it was nothing somehow. That's the problem somehow with yours. It's like yours is concrete. Yours is a story. And it's a story. So then it's like you can have arguments like to like go to the story and start like just chopping the story, and because it is clear like what the intention is. You said it from the beginning. What is gonna happen? So from there like you can just really be critical about it. And open-ended frameworks.
But I also feel like this is like, in a way, what I said is like open-ended framework. We can form open-ended group. That's a joke. Hello, is it Mark?
Mark, yeah. Like he coined that term.
Well, it's like the name of the. Is it an institution or a collective or?
I think it's
kind of an institution, no?
Yeah.
Part of like something. I guess,
yeah.
School or something.
And he has software.
No, but I see that because I always didn't want to like have this kind of like narration, like that was not something I worked a lot in the past, and also like I kind of feel awkward working with actual like narration, like storytelling. But then in a way this is like open-ended because it's just part of in the point of my life that happened, and it's like just keep changing. So like now if I try to make a performance, it will be different, and in a way that like I'm not like stuck to that linear narrative.
But that's I guess what I cannot get from like as an audience, like then I guess the selection of aesthetics, like your decisions and the way how you spoke, or I don't know, sound, visuals. I was first, like, I wasn't there. So, but from what I get from the video is like certainly like it is like this. If what I'm understanding from what you're saying is like what you're proposing is something that is an open-ended. Is that you're saying that your performance was
that performance is that fixed.
Okay. Yeah. I thought the under.
But that like I'm saying like from like broader scope as like my life.
If you'll do it like right now, it will be different.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In that sense, it's actually like very fluid.
Yeah.
And I would, yeah, I think then I can frame it in that sense that
Yeah.
I can also tell a story in that.
Yeah, I can follow that.
By the way, this one is from Puff.
A blob is a shape, but
No, it's a photo.
yeah, but the text it says a
Yeah,
blob
but,
is a shape, but doesn't have a shape. A white blob often appears in my imagination. Perhaps it was inspired by a short novel written by a Japanese sci-fi writer Shiichi Hoshi or his follower, in which a white sphere appears. To me, it is roughly 1 meter in diameter and soft with human body temperature.
that was the chaos theory bread.
Oh, I thought it was a rock.
That's what I was saying.
Oh.
It's a blob. Because like the way I worked with this is like I had like specific like name or like point in my life, but it's hard to find image from that because, for example, like it's like from 20, 30 years ago, then I don't have that photo, so I have to find something that has that texture that I want to tell, but from like new photos, or like I have to like generate with the AI stuff,
Mm-hmm.
GAN or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes like I have like specific photo from my childhood, but it's not like also like my intention to use them like a lot.
I never understood, and I don't understand how to pose for pictures. You do pose for pictures. Absolutely not true. My parents liked to travel while we were in Australia, where we spent a year and came back twice for vacations. Nevertheless, they rarely took us for trips within Japan. But I traveled with my brother for a few times. Barcelona in 2012 and Okinawa in 21. Who are you?
The blue one, actually. It's funny because
And who is
the
she?
blue one. It's my sister.
Ah, you have a sister.
Yeah. I have my brain. I don't know where my brain is actually. I think it's one of the suitcase I have at school. Anyways.
It's a souvenir. I saw it like that. People can buy Naoto's brain in the website.
Yeah, just have to go to my Shopify.
Yes. Did you saw I sent you something about this person? Somebody who's doing neuro something in Ars Electronica. That was the guy who they select. When I applied for Ars Electronica, it was between this guy who I sent you now this link.
For the residency?
Yeah, in Ars Electronica that I did. It was between him and me. And then when I checked, actually, I thought like, okay, I'm fine. Like the guy is doing something very concrete. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. His work is very advanced.
This is a window at Mozonto.
Yeah, I recognize that.
Yeah, Node.
Yes. The pointy triangle windows were in a bathroom of Mozonto. Yeah, I find shapes everywhere. When I find a corner, I draw an imaginary line pointing into the space from the corner. I avoid intersecting the imaginary line. Very choreographic.
Well, I didn't think that way, but I don't want to think that way, then I have to think that way now. No. It's funny, I never thought about it, but if you lay out like this, then it really looks like Windows on the desktop.
Yeah, but the aesthetics come from there. So why
yeah,
are you
but
surprised?
like just like putting on top of it, it really looks like that, no? Because it happens like that on the computer.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you're surprised if the aesthetics come from there.
I know, but like it's just having that in a physical life, it's like it's just funny.
Okay.
I found. I didn't because I didn't really
Okay.
think about it. I mean, of course, it's Windows, but yeah. Anyways.
Yes.
Okay. It's not on sale yet, but I'm thinking about it. How I can improve it. you know, it's crazy. People steal them. Well, not steal them, but like if I show it at the like presentation, like they're like, can I keep this? Like, no, this is my artwork.
But yeah, because the thing is, it's a bit. I mean, you need to find some strategy to clarify this because it's a bit it's contra. You know, for instance, like just but the way how it happens with Annie, like so you say hello, you have this energy, you know, like very lovely energy. I'm happy to see you. I have this for you. By the way, I have something else, and then you start with this, but I cannot give it to you. So it's like the energy is going. It's not. It make no sense.
I know. But I think that's something I want to share, that I'm struggling because, like, you know, people don't return, or like I just always have to say it now because then.
And how many cars are?
This is like 55. But
and how you count? So are you counting? Is it complete? You don't want to count them now. You're gonna get pissed off.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, like if one or two is gone, it's okay, but then it's not about like if it's there or not. It's about, you know, the idea, you know, because it's my artwork.
Right.
If someone steals your painting, then it's like, why, you know? You can't just keep it, and it took so much time and energy for that.
But I think it's the medium. Then it's
but that's also interesting. Yeah. Totally.
But that's interesting to talk because then it's. I mean, what it makes it's just like people cannot see it's an art piece. Like, so then they just think it's a piece of paper, you know, like then they can just take.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a business card, then
I would also think like that. If I was in PAF, and then I can just take one.
Right. So I was thinking, like, I was wondering if I would put it at the kitchen today, but I don't know. Also, the kitchen is not a good place to.
Or you can just put like you can put it there, but
with a note.
With a note, and also knowing like, you know, like in mind some card get lost.
Yeah, I mean, also like it works in exhibition because then I always make the label, the title and name and year. So if it's there, then you would say, okay, it's like artwork.
Yeah.
It's like it's just framing, and I really like to make those because it's like, you know, then if there's something else here and I put the label, then it looks like artwork. I mean, you would think it's an artwork, no?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point, like the plastic artist. Plastic artists do that, like.
Or ceramic artist or whatever. But
no, but yeah, I remember like that's the whole point of this.
Yeah, and I really like to like, this is just like another interest I have, that I want to work with this somehow.
With plastic artists?
No, like this is like a exhibition design, you know, and I'm really not interested in like a white space. Like the place I did the performance, I also did the exhibition, and it's like a really garage place,
right?
Garage theater, and I really liked it because then I just put things everywhere, and then, for example, if I use this space, then it feels like, you know, you are intentionally choosing this space, right?
Yeah.
And then. Yes. But then it gives so much complexity because then the bookshelf, is it part of the exhibition or not, or like is there like something hiding as an artwork, and it became like so rich.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, that's part of like this scholarship that I applied was about. I mean, it was about curatorial studies.
Right.
But what was interesting from this place is that the underline that the studies goes about the paradigm shift that the technology brought.
Okay.
So for me that was very interesting as somebody who's working with media, how to present work for all these topics that you're saying. What is relevant now? But then I guess you have to understand, some things that I don't know. I guess
that's why you study.
That's why I want to study. But they give me thanks. By the way, so the new center is a very interesting place. They have haven't found place. I'm part of PAF with some frameworks actually. To be honest, like very specific topics that they are somehow transversing and circumventing closely. Very relevant question, I guess, in Western philosophy, Western philosophy. Very much about politics, capitalism, ecology, and politics. I would presume like that. So they have different postgraduates in design, in curatorial studies. Other 3 fields that I don't remember right now. One is modern philosophy. and the other one is something else. But I was sharing that I applied for a grant, for a scholarship, and they give me half of the scholarship, which I really appreciate, but I need the full scholarship. I cannot pay 4,800. I mean, half of that, which is 2,400 euros. I don't have the money to pay that. And even, I mean, they break it down. They say like, yeah, you can do it like this. I'm paying 180 euros per month. Like, I cannot. I don't have that income, steady income every month. It will generate a burden right now for me.
Yeah, it's like a subscription.
Yeah. But yeah, I will try to follow some of the free courses.
Okay.
Because there's some free stuff, but you cannot just follow the whole thing.
Yeah, this is like also interesting to like look into. Like, there are like open platforms where you can like follow free courses. And for example, I mean, I haven't really done much, but one I really appreciate from I think it's Keio University from Japan, where they have the Hijikata archive. They basically talk about I mean, you just have to read and watch some videos about Hijikata archive, his like biography of Hijikata, like how he founded Buto, and then Buto notation and all these things, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
That's why also I do these things. I'm really obsessed with archive because of what he was doing. I mean, the interesting thing about
archives. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go on. No, I just
no. The interesting thing is like he didn't really make an archive, right? He just left so many artifacts, and then people started making archive, which is one way of doing it, I guess.
But I mean, I think it's just like we were talking with Marlon, and also I think I shared this idea with you of this. That I remember now also that Alina fought with me about this argument of like classically speaking in Western philosophy, like then you have this idea of the art as a novel thing.
Okay.
So the artist is searching for the masterpiece. So the unique masterpiece is the ultimate thing of the artist. They just speak by itself. And so there are a lot of philosophy around these things. But something that it just doesn't have to justify, but it just speaks for itself. So what happens is when people are geniuses and can master these things, then other people do archive these things. So it happens similar to.
Yeah, I mean, like his case is like he's a genius, and
it should be like, I mean, I don't know his work, but like should be very much like if there's so much around, it's because clearly there should be something special. And then other people just take that role, and he's just doing that. He's just doing his art.
Yeah, but I think it's especially in dance, it's hard because you don't leave artifacts normally. It's a dance piece, but he did he made scrapbooks for his inspiration, and he talked a lot to his apprentices, and apprentices they have to take notes, for the choreography, because choreography basically Hijikata is just talking about his notation. It says notation, but it's basically he has different names for different movements or scenes, and then they have to take notes. So they the apprentices took notes, so that became an artifact. And there's also this Buto Kaden, I think it's on the web. We can search for Buto notation, and it's hyperlinked to different ideas, and people start but everything came because Hijikata basically left some things.
Yeah.
But I guess we're not that famous yet, so we have to leave things and make our own archive.
Yes, we have to do it we have to become an institution. I have to. I like that idea. I want to bring this. What are dragons? Dragons.
Really that my hometown and the path around here looks like. I mean, the composition is the same. So this is here.
Okay.
And this is my hometown.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this is also an interesting thing. I mean, this is a different affordance that the cards give that you don't see on the website.
Oh,
yeah, we
good.
didn't say much, but we were in Amsterdam. That's where this journey started, right? In Amsterdam, at Lima.
Like this what I was thinking, like yeah, so then in Lima, no, so
Yeah.
we started this trip in when did we start, like 1 week ago,
That was
right?
a Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so we met in the symposium for digital transformation thing, symposium, international
Conservation,
symposium for
yeah.
digital
Like
conservation.
I don't know what the title, but the idea is the
Yeah.
Oh, he has the slides.
I sent it to you in an email.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That
fine.
one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's what I
didn't
sent
check,
you.
but yeah, I remember you sent me.
But then something that so then there were different presentations, and one that was really, I think, a point of things that we speak differently, but yeah, I guess in my head makes sense, but I cannot put it into words. Is this idea of software preservation must contain knowledge management as a key challenge. We suggest a conceptualization of software preservation approaches that are available at different stages of the software life cycle and can support memory institutions to assess the current and completeness and applicability of knowledge. Yeah, I think everything, but at least in my head, it makes sense. Contain knowledge management as an abstraction. That's interesting, and that's in these topics that we were speaking some time ago with the information design. When the idea of information design gets really highly complicated, then you start speaking about systemic modeling. But the idea is the same. They just study cybernetics, basically. You study information and systems and agency of the systems and definitions of systems and agencies and configure. Basically, let me put it in our words. We said of these things like grouping and grouping, right?
Okay.
Well,
I try to follow. Yeah.
Just go there to this idea when we speak about grouping and a grouping, right? So complex systems are very much about this idea of grouping and ungrouping. And then when Dragan speaks here, in what it stays in my head, and that's my interpretation, of course, that is important in the management of in the architecture of information, is to allow a framework that is so abstract that allows for knowledge management. So that's something that is something that in a way is contradictory by itself, because you have a bunch of information, and then you're trying to structure the information in a certain way that is help the best for the users, right? And then you propose certain frameworks, but because the nature of archives are static, then there is so much going on into maintaining these systems, and after at some point then you cannot maintain the system anymore, and then the software goes down. I mean, all these topics that in terms of how much costs to keep up with these softwares. Because everything is in movement. Everything is moving. So the informations and the frameworks where information is happening is moving fast. So technology is fast. Then it's very difficult to make an unique or an answer to the best way to archive material.
Wait, so you're talking about archive or like specifically like to the what Dragon was presenting about this like different software, for example, like Windows, like new Windows, new iPhone, iOS version, and you have to keep up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because archive is, I mean, it's related, but it's not interchangeable. I thought. I mean, we could make analogy, but then like I don't know what you mean by like maintaining archive, because then you're more dependent on yourself.
No, they're maintaining the systems that are running the archive, maintaining the software.
Right. In that sense,
to keep it running.
So, for example, okay, now we built this archive on Windows 98, and
Yeah.
then like Windows XP is coming, so you have to migrate. Or if you don't have resources to migrate, then it will be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly like the case with this Buto Kaden. It's by Yukio Waguri, one of the apprentices of Hijikata. And he basically, I don't know like how this happened, but like institution took over. I mean, he collaborated with the institution that they put this notebook into a CD-ROM, like digital version that you can purchase and you can see it on your computer. And then of course now that's really deprecated. I don't know if it was CD-ROM or DVD-ROM, but then now and then they had to change like convert it for the website, because then it's more accessible. And then like basically like they were like asking for donation, because this is always happening, and even if it's static archive, the platform changes.
Yeah.
So that affects like how it can be accessible. So I think it's like, because that's like really concrete example. I don't know exactly like if I can come up with other like specifically in archive like suffering from this transition of like platform like system, the proprietary software basically.
Yeah.
That Microsoft sells, or Apple sells.
Well, I think like the point that I was trying to make is that is really, I guess, is a high level of abstraction to say this, and I don't have the arguments to put it more clear. But when he speaks about like knowledge management, that doesn't. I mean, you can speak about information management. Knowledge management is almost as a. He's provoking in saying this. I assuming that he's provoking in saying knowledge management doesn't exist, doesn't cope with, doesn't go. You can speak about information management, because knowledge is local, experiential, and knowledge is something for humanities to speak about it. So when he mentioned these things, and we had this small conversation with him about how he was asking me, what do you think when I was mentioning embodiment in that context, in the way how he put it.
Okay.
He does that with the idea of provoke. So it's a very artistic approach that he's doing. And from what I think I'm trying to underline that is brilliant is that since these things are really complex, right? Like maintaining the software of there are different factors why it's so difficult to document these processes. Since process of documentation of media art are very complicated, you need approaches that are liquid. They try to make more liquid and more fluid, something that by nature is static. You create Windows 98 and you will systematically upgrade, create bugs, new versioning, and at some point you stop doing it. So are solid frameworks. And that's why he was using this kind of, when he was doing this, when he was like talking about these things, it's about abstracting something, because the abstraction of something, it allows for, how to say this, like, and I guess that's the whole the problems, or one of the things that I heard recently when speaking about systemic modeling or cybernetics, what is very much about information management, is that you cannot have an absolute answer to things, to questions. Then is when this idea of complexity enter, and then allow other voices, because one answer is not enough. So when things are when things are so complicated, approaching this from a binary point of view or deterministic is not helping. Therefore, abstractions, analogies, poetics, and other triggers, like Dragan is speaking about knowledge management, triggers, provocations, allow for other contingencies to happen.
Okay.
Because I think that's the term that I was searching. It's a contingency. The fact, because it's not about you and me trying to describe a process that either of us know very, very well, in terms of what is something, to coin something specifically. But I think what I'm trying to point here is there is I'm applauding his effort in abstracting the nature of what he's doing, like working with the computer, to abstracting and trying to embody it, the process.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should close. I don't know. One thing I want to say. I don't know if it's related or not. That's why I'm saying. Like specifically for archiving, I noticed that like this was like process of archiving like things, and then what I struggled most, not just the first step but throughout the process, was like what categories I need. I need a name, image, but first like actually I was super ambitious. Like I want like each element to have a website, a web page, or like a Hydra sketch or something. But then there's this trade-off that it would be super interesting as content for like every element, but then I can't have like hundreds of them. Like in the end, I think I have more than 100, but then like if I prepare like that elaborate thing for everything, then probably I end up with like 10 pages, which is also interesting. But then sometimes you need to make it easy so that you can just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the question, and that's something I learned by doing, and then I always have to like change the how to say, the columns, the labels for the database.
The classes.
The class. No, but yeah.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
So that's kind of like the practice of archiving. Maybe we should go to that. I mean, but the practice of archiving also has the abstraction part as well as a design, and then,
Yeah, but not completely. I don't think that.
No,
not really. From what I'm trying to say, no. Because it's about a contingency.
But I mean, we should close soon. But because I also like related the contingency in a way that I have this room that I can change the database on the way to be like fluid. Not that I start, definitely I need this for this database. I need to write title, I don't know, year, blah 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 and then I start from there. I mean, I need a starting point, but it could change. That's how I saw the contingency, but I don't know if that was your intention.
Not really. But okay, so maybe we just close here and see when we do the next one. Maybe it will be
somehow.
Oh, but anyway, nice, I don't know when like something's gonna happen also, like, so we'll see you next time.
Yeah. And did you notice that all the paints on the camera?
The paint, what is that thing?
Yeah, because I was holding this during when I was in Tayrona.
Oh, so yeah.
And they were asking me to paint stuff, and I can't, like sometimes I had to like grab the camera when my hands are still wet with ink, and then that's still there.
Yeah.
Just as a little story.
Yes.
Okay, so please subscribe, like the video, and see you next
Bye-bye.
time in the 4 video.
4, yeah, that's number 3. Ciao.